I am Pragya, and I bring to you excerpts from the current issue of Outlook titled Trapped, that looks at two cover stories. One, where poor migrant workers trapped in a tunnel make it alive after 17 traumatic days. The other, for the Palestinians trapped in Gaza, the ceasefire may be short lived before the next round of attacks by Israel. The other cover has illustration of the olive tree, a symbol of Palestinian culture and resilience. The Palestinian poet in exile, Mahmoud Darwish, has always used olive tree in his poetry. Lines from his poem, The Second Olive Tree, reads, "The portrait for the olive tree is neither green nor silver. The olive tree is the color of peace, if peace needed a color." Over 1 million olive trees have been uprooted by the settlers in occupied Palestine since 1967 to build new settlements, according to Haaretz newspaper and other agencies. The Politics of War by Prem Shankar Jha, a columnist and author based in Delhi. A month ago, on Saturday, October 28th, Israel's President Benjamin Netanyahu announced that Israel had opened a new phase in the war against Hamas by sending ground forces into Gaza and expanding its attacks from the ground, air, and sea. Its very clear objective, he said, was to destroy Hamas once and for all. A past master at depicting every Israeli act of oppression as defense, he linked Hamas's October 7th attack to the Holocaust and wrote, "We always said, never again. Never again is now. Only those for whom Israel can do no wrong will fail to recognize what Netanyahu has actually declared. This was that the ethnic cleansing of Gaza had begun." 4 weeks later, this has been brutally confirmed. By then, the Israeli army had killed 14,000 civilians in Gaza, including 9,000 women and children. Another estimated 2,000 or more persons had been entombed in the basements of multi-storied buildings brought down upon them by Israel's relentless bombing and are now almost certainly dead. Israel has lost 398 soldiers so far, whom Netanyahu's government is calling martyrs. This is a high price to pay for a country whose people came there to escape the persecution they had suffered for close to 2 millennia in the Western world. But this war has cost Israel something else, something intangible but immeasurably more valuable. This is the last remnant of the vast reservoir of sympathy for Jews that had been generated in the West by the Holocaust. On November 22nd, 6 weeks after the bombing of Gaza began, 68% of Americans were calling for a ceasefire, and 56% believed that Israel's military response had gone too far. But these figures pale into insignificance before the disillusionment being felt in Israel. For on or around that date, a survey of 550 Israelis by the Bar-Ilan University, carried out jointly with the opinion polling company iPanel, found that less than 4% of Jewish Israelis considered Netanyahu to be a reliable source of information on the ongoing war against Hamas in Gaza. Most prefer to believe the daily briefings of the Israeli Defense Forces spokesperson, General Daniel Hagari. With every passing day, the belief is growing stronger that Netanyahu's days as Prime Minister are numbered. An opinion poll conducted a fortnight after the Hamas attack by the Israeli newspaper Mari showed that if there was an election, the Likud party, which is headed by Netanyahu, would win only 18 seats against the 40 it holds today. For this and more, read the current issue of Outlook.